they, you know, keep things consistent with 5, I think they definitely could take the EU scene by storm in the, you know, in a little while, or at least the UK scene, I should say. First fraggers came down anyway. It's Roland who takes down Red Snake. That's going to open up things nicely. Kind of funnels off Infused into Catwalk. They also have a player who was thinking about pushing through long, and that appears to be Windansky. Right. But 3 players stacked on long from Vexed as well, and they're just keeping themselves in a pretty good position right now.
I feel like Infused put a lot of weight on trying to get up Cat. They put that smoke on top Xbox, and then they were trying to get up Cat and suffered an early pick there. Now they're finally getting into the A side, but Vex is just kind of giving it to them just to play retake. So it hasn't really hurt them at all. They still have all their numbers up right now, as they're going to try to collapse into this A bomb side and see if they can't make the retake work. There's 2 on Cat that Vex have to worry about. A little bit of a bait setup going on here. In fact, with Aaron hiding behind the stairs, they'll pop out together, and Zed gets a couple of kills. Now we have a 2-on-2.
Yeah, the bomb is also planted for Catwalks. It's going to be a bit rough as the players stack up on each other. Hypero was getting tagged in the back from his teammate. He gets picked off from Aaron, so double kills for both Zed and Aaron. And Infused have got that first round, which is going to start things off nicely for them.
Yeah, and it's a great recovery when you go down into a 3 versus 5, you know, suffering those early picks and still being able to come up with the round. It was just all about, you know, staying dedicated to that attack up the Catwalk and getting that bomb planted. And they just played the post plant really well, especially that bit of a bait setup they had on the stairs there at Catwalk really came up huge for them to equalize it. And then once they were in the 2v2, just having the bomb planted for them, Cat did wonders, and they closed it out. Force spot coming in here for Vexed. We do have that scout on Roland trying to spawn something out, but he is blocked off by the smoke. Infused looks like, again, they're going to try their attack up short A.
Definitely seems to be the plan right now. Oh, the tags from Hypera did quite a bit to Windansky. Here's a flash as well, and Molotov's landing on the site, and the Deagle ripping through from Furlan. 2 kills for him. Weapons dropped on Catwalk for Infused. The P250 going to town, and Infused somehow are just being shut out of this round. Wow. 3 players survived, 2 scouts picked up. What a round for Vex Gaming.
Well, this is all Furlan, man, with that Deagle. 3 kills, that is massive. And that really, really hurts Infused. It always hurts to win that pistol just to immediately get the door thrown in your face there on that second round. Luckily, they did have a first round bomb plant, so they could have just waited and actually maybe even done some type of buy next round. But no, they're actually going to force up all the way. If this doesn't work out, then they definitely will have to full save next round. So this is Vex's chance to, you know, start extending their lead. Infused trying to see if they can't break the money right back by getting these Tech 9s, which we know can be quite dangerous. But thus far, it only has been Vex that has been able to find a kill in this round. So they're off to a decent start.
I can definitely understand this force play, though, from Infused. They simply want to crack the economy of Vexed before it gets building. The issue with that is they did lose the first play. They have answered back, however, on Roland, who got caught going back up to long from mid. And they have a word with a couple of his teammates there who are on B. No one watching mid from them, both situated at the back of site looking through tunnels. And that appears to be where Infused may try and congregate and push through on. So this could be an absolute massacre. This could be a slaughter for Infused if they do push through here, as there's a scout trained on there. And also, Grubby has himself the FAMAS.
And there's a gap on that smoke that kind of makes Infused kind of want to peek into that because it's not quite blocking them completely. But a nice nade comes in, a lot of damage, and Pete's will find the kill for it. Now he spots them even more, just tagging them, just popping up and down, like playing whack-a-mole over here. But it's the mole who's jumped out the machine, and he's just destroying them right now. Got into a 4-on-2, so it's looking pretty good here for Vex.
Yeah, kind of got to question this play from Infused because they had 2 scouts in the previous round. They must have known that Vex would pick them up, so it stands to good reason that at least one of them will be watching tunnels. So it's like, yeah, of course they don't know 100% as the Molotov spreads and kills Zed. He was caught between a rock and a hard place anyway. And they don't know that he's at the back there, but I think they could have guessed, like, to a pretty high level. That would be suicide.
I think the bigger problem was indecision. You know, like at first they were just gonna be like, okay, he got that 1 kill, but we're still gonna like push out and just kind of attack him and try to trade him out. But then you saw after he kind of got a 2nd kill, the other people started to back up into B tunnels and kind of give up on the B execute. But it's already too late at that point. You're in a 2 versus 4, so it's almost as if you had to make the decision sooner. Either we're all going to hit this or we're all not, you know. And I think that's what they got caught in the middle there, and that really hurt them a lot. And now they'll just eco into the B bomb site, and Vex should be able to clean this up pretty easily. You already see it down to a 4 versus 1 here. Crucial trying to find something out of this, but there's not going to be much to be had. We'll get a bomb plant, so they'll help out money-wise at least.
That's what's going to help. But the starting rounds have definitely gone the way of Vex Gaming, as they're going to be looking to defuse that bomb as well, keeping 3 assault rifles in play. But that's going to allow Infused to maybe get themselves a pretty decent buy up this next round. Yeah, 5k on a bunch. That's going to include an AWP for Crucial. And the rest of the players have themselves smokes, molotovs, HEs, and flashes. So, Vexed, how can you stand up to this onslaught? Can you repel it? Double AWP is pretty standard for Dust 2 on CT side. It's nothing out of the ordinary. You're expecting to see these coming to play.
Yeah, it's actually the one map where it's like people's base strategy. Like, it seems like other maps, the double op gets pulled out of desperation or something like that. When things aren't working, you switch to the double op. But this is a map where you see people bring it out almost right away. If that's the type of style team that they are. And so you are, in fact, going to see one op here on Pete's kind of watching mid from window. Then the other op will be on Furlan, kind of playing that position you expect to see the op at, right? Just kind of watching that cat crossover being kind of a rotation at A. And Infused is, again, they're staging up on this catwalk, setting up for some smokes, maybe to possibly even drop down CT spawn. The way I'm seeing some of these smokes being lined up, that could be a part of the attack, but we'll just have to wait and see as here they come out.
That Molotov is going to keep them at bay for a few more seconds, though. Very nicely done by Vex Gaming. You see Crucial is just itching to have that first peek. And here they come, but it's Furlan lands it onto Red Snake. Maybe a bit too early. Second frag as well. And he's hungry for more. He just keeps jumping up on the box. He has connected the 38 shot, but I think it may hit him in the arm instead of the chest. There's a fourth kill. He finally gets taken down from Windansky. But then he's answered back from Rollin, and 4-1 already. Brutal round for Infused.
Especially since, like, that's exactly what that tactic is designed to counter, is an opera playing on the A ramp. That's why you had those smokes out there, to stop him from being able to get vision on you crossing over. But there was no really flashbangs involved in that, or the ones that were thrown weren't really that great, because Furlan just kept being able to hop on the box and kind of look over the smokes, and he found 4 frags on the round. So, I mean, it really couldn't have gone much worse for Infused. I mean, you saw what they were trying to do, and it just got completely stuffed by the thing they were trying to counter in the first place. So, a little bit unfortunate there. They will just be forced onto the Tech 9s here. Grubby looks like he's going to get aggressive and be tunnels here. Might blow this thing up before it even gets started.
Very aggressive push, and the flashbangs to accompany it as well. Pete's not on the first. It's traded out, though. And I can see that Grubby instantly spins around, realizing what the situation is. He gets picked off point-blank range. Brutal headshot to Grubby. And now it's all on Hyper and Furlan. And well, the chances are slim to none, I have to say. I mean, especially when you look at the HP that they possess as well. And they just want to save these weapons.
Yeah, I mean, a big play there from Infused, just going for the quick mid out to beam, being able to catch 2 players off guard like that. I mean, Grubby had pushed in the B tunnel, so he had kind of left his B side player by himself, so to speak. And that was Pete with the op, who got caught in awkward space there in mid. And after that happened, I mean, it was just all Infused at that point. You know, they were just able to exploit the gaps there, you know, find some, you know, 2-on-1 or 3-on-1 duels and overtake the B bomb site with it. So, you know, well orchestrated by Infused. That'll get them right back into the game.
Absolutely will. They managed to grab themselves a bunch of weapons as well. Vex will be able to rebuy this round, as they have 4 on the bounce before round 6. And that includes another AWP. Furlan, though, is going to be a bit broke here. I think he's going to get a weapon dropped across. There we go. So Vex Gaming, yes, they're going to have a decent buy up this round, but if they fall again, it's eco territory for them, and Infused could start to rack up a bunch off the back of one another. So this is a pressure cooker round for both teams. Crucial spots the first player, lands the shot onto the legs, goes for the repeat with the Tech 9, completely catching Furlan off guard, and does convert the frag.
Yes, that's a big opening pick there for Crucial, just having that long ace spawn, being able to put it to use to get his team into an instant 5 versus 4. So that's going to, you know, cause Vex to have to be a bit more antsy here. I mean, they don't have the comfortable defense that you want. They're a man down, so they have to try to make a play here at some point. Pete's trying to look for something at mid with that op, but no one going to fall into it just yet. And, I mean, they have the defense split here on Infused. It's all about just gathering up now and trying to plow through it. There will only be one player on A site. Rollin, his support is pretty far away since he's tucked in the blue bin. So this could be, you know, a pretty solid catwalk attack from Infused coming up here.
Yeah, it's looking like they're going to push this again. However, is it going to become a bit predictable for Vex if they keep using this? It has pretty much been the standard play thus far. I like this a lot more. Dropping down into mid, keeping things interesting. They're trying to bait onto Catwalk, and it completely works out. Crucial with another opening pick onto Grubby, and now it's all on Pete. He's on the site all by himself. What a shot! Flicks across, lands it onto Aaron, nearly a third as well. Finally gets put 6 foot under. You can see Red Snake is very low. That being said, there's no explosive grenades in the hands of Vex, just flashbangs and a smoke. That being said, they get caught out out in no man's land, and now it's all on that man with 15 HP. It's on Red Snake. He's going to go for the repeat right into the crosshair of Hyper, and Vex Gaming will pick up their 5th round. And I think Infused will be bitterly disappointed they weren't able to hold on to that site 3-on-2.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they got the opening pick on the round. They got into a 5-on-4. They did a great, like, fake, you know, putting that pressure at Cat to keep those 2 A players in place and splitting into B. But you have to give some credit to Pete's there, man. I mean, he was in a very high pressure situation where he was all alone, getting attacked by 1 player, B tunnels. He knew there was a lot of pressure coming from outside the side as well, yet he was still able to manage 2 frags to kind of keep his team in the round, and then just a great retake from the rest of the team that was still left. And that's a big round for Vexed to win. It now, you know, takes a huge chunk out of Infused economy, and if Infused loses this round, they will be back to saving. But Vexed also has to worry about their own economy, and they could suffer a reset here. So really, this round's worth 2 for either team. So, you know, Vex either extends their lead quite a bit, or Infused works to close the gap on the scoreboard and be within striking distance of the tie.
That's the thing with CT side, of course. The curse is that even when you are winning rounds, there's always that chance to Terrace to just drag it right back into equality once more. And that will be in the back of Vex Gaming's mind. The fact that Pete has also lost a considerable margin of his HP right off the start of this round. Down to 19 is going to be a bit of an issue for them. So he's going to play a more passive role for now on B side. Makes the most sense, I suppose. Crucial setting up again. But the cool thing about that last round as well is even though Vex Gaming did end up claiming it, you saw that they were baited onto staying on an A site for a little while there. So Infused now, if they do go for this full execute, there's going to be 2 minds for Vex Gaming. Are they pushing Catwalk or are they going mid? The fact they've got Grubby standing in mid now pretty much gives them the idea of exactly where this bomb's going down. It's going to be for short, but the frags are coming in. Roland lands one into Zed. Aaron just beforehand claimed the frag onto Full and jumping up onto the boxes. Does bomb himself Red Snake. That's a pretty crucial kill. This goal's got crucial. On Catwalk, the bomb is planted for him. He goes for the first peek, lands the shot. Windansky, meanwhile, on long. This is looking bad for the CT. They're going to catch the rotation, then in its tracks, and now it's all on Roland. 1 versus 1 situation. He's picked up the first frag. Going to be running through with that USP. Surely he can't clutch this. And Infused just about hold on.
Yeah, this is a good round from Infused. I mean, they're basically electing not to fully push into the site, not even worry about battling anyone that's playing Goose or playing on the A ramp or playing towards long A. They're only worried about getting control of the Catwalk and then putting a plant down in the site and just playing retake, or excuse me, playing like post plant from the Catwalk position. So you're forcing Vex either to push through your smokes to try to prevent you from planning, or you're just giving yourself, you know, a situation where you should be at an equal man or even a man advantage going into the post-plant hold. And Infused is doing so well at playing that Catwalk, whether it be executing it to get the plant or being able to keep players alive in that area after the bomb is down to secure it. So, you know, good stuff here from Infused. They have forced to save out of Vexed, and they have a great chance to try to go ahead and work towards a tie here. They have eaten a lot of damage in B, but they've been able to get away with their lives, so no harm, no foul. And they, again, are staging up on this Catwalk.
Oh, the last time we saw Vex in this kind of situation, though, it was Phil and Deagle that pretty much single-handedly brought us back. But this time around, it's Roland who's landed that first dig. He's still tapping, finally gets shut down from Infused. Let him have a couple too many Deagle shots there for my money. But that being said, with it being effectively an eco round for Vex Gaming, Infused should be able to convert this 4v2 pretty convincingly. Here come the jump shots, and Crucial is there to slam the door in the face of Grubby with the AWP. That takes us from Hyper with the AK-47. Has no Kevlar, so aim punch is going to be a very real nuisance for him to contend with. And they know where he is, roughly, so surely only a matter of time before he falls. He has done damage before going down, though, with the frag onto Red Snake.
And he's got Crucial stuck at Game Helper with the op, so I mean, that's not a best position to be at. Crucial will be able to get away, however, and there is also a flank coming in along ever so slowly from Zed. Hyper would have stuck his way into Pit, but he's been spotted. He's able to win that duel, though. So, I mean, he's holding on to his AK very well. In fact, no one else will even challenge, so who will get to save it. Plus, he got a couple of kills. So, I mean, he's at least forcing some rebuys out of the terrorist side, which is certainly still very painful, you know, because their economy isn't that well established. So all this rebuying does put them at risk as soon as they lose to having to immediately save. So Vex is definitely keeping this game close, while Infused, though, is still working pretty well towards tying the game up.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see the importance of saving that AK as well. Hyper was able to drop a weapon. I think it was a P90 for Pete. With that Deagle, it's not a fantastic buy-up, of course. They'd like an AWP in play. They'd like more grenades and more defuse kits, but it's at least functional. They can pull something back from this kind of buy. So that AK save could be absolutely instrumental in Vex Gaming establishing a solid lead again. But here comes the aggressive play through mid. Aaron with the smoke is going to fend off the CT side. Double smoking it. That's going to allow Rollin to maybe push through behind them. No one's watching their back just yet. Rollin could be in the money if he just pushes through this smoke. Finally, Red Snake turns around. He does eat a bit of damage through the smoke. Meanwhile, on B, Infused are just locking it down. 2 entry frags. Going to secure them that plant. And judging from Vex Gaming's movement, they have no interest in retaking the site. So we will be back to equality. Infused will be putting their 5th round on the board.
And I mean, I feel like that's actually the hardest thing to defend in Counter-Strike. Like, when you look at all the CT sides that you play in the current map pool, I feel like defending mid to B on Dust 2 is probably the most difficult task of all. Because you either have to dedicate to just playing inside B, in which case you know you're giving up mid and you're just hoping that your 2 players inside B are going to be able to hold on long enough or get enough kills to at least give you a shot at the retake later. Or you have to play some type of crossfire at mid, which basically means that you're leaving the B bomb side itself a bit more vulnerable because there's only 1 person in there. Or you're softening up the A defense that you have because you're, instead of having 3 towards that side of the map, you have 1 focused on doors. So, and you can also easily get split up by a smoke. So it's just very difficult to deal with. We see so many teams struggle with it. And it's definitely something that Infused has been using quite a lot on top of their CAD executes to be able to stay in this game and keep this quite competitive.
I suppose the other worrying thing as well for Vexed is not only is the round's been brought back to even, but now on their buy that they currently have, or lack of buy I should say, Infused could take the lead for the first time in this game. Well, since the pistol round, of course.
Right.
And here come the Molotovs, just to fend off that push through the hole in the wall. Grubby goes for the aggression. It's really all he could hope to achieve with that P250. He gets shut down, smacked away from the site. Furlan, pretty much an identical play, but again, it's just pistols that they're running, so the 2 assault rifle wielding the Vex Gaming members of Hyper and Rollin are going to save their weapons and hope for the best in round 12. This is looking good for Infused. I'm surprised that they're mounting this much of a fight in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, they've been able to now win 5 of the last 6 rounds, or the last 4 in a row, to put it more simply. So definitely starting to find themselves in this game. You know, I think it really certainly hurt to lose that 2nd round after winning pistol, and of course that kind of put their economy in a bad way, which kind of helped Vex, you know, start building up a lead. But now that Infused have got their economy back in order, they've been pretty dominant here on this terrorist side, whether it be, like I said, exploiting the Catwalk, so like an attack that's very much not worried about actually fully taking a side or taking a lot of duels before getting the bomb down, but then they've just been straight up aggressive with some of these mid to B hits. You know, they find a lot of success with those as well. So it's mainly the only 2 plays that Infused have really been using this game, but both have been successful at different points in time. So I mean, they're looking to bolster a pretty good terrorist side here. Like, Vex has to come up with some kind of response. They need to soon.
A great mid control. They've really aggressed onto B heavy. They've gone through Cat. It's not a case of just one strat consistently working. Infused, all credit to them. You know, they've been mixing things up, and I was a bit concerned for them when we had those 4 rounds in a row go to Vexed Gaming. If maybe they were too predictable, that's just simply not the case. And now again, they're going to be looking for Catwalk. Will they drop down? Will they execute? They still got Windansky, who again is looking to maybe aggress through one long, which is where Grubby is in pit with the M4. That could be a pretty crucial kill here, but here come the smokes with 1 minute and 5 to play with. They could be looking for that early execution. Hype is in no man's land, so if they do push onto this side, he could be caught pretty convincingly out of position. That looks to be the case. There's the Molotov thrown out from here, and the flashbang. But expending quite a lot of those CT grenades, and they don't possess a great deal with 45 seconds to go. No smokes, no Molotovs for them.
That's absolutely huge. That, I mean, they have no smokes or flash to execute with now, thanks to those counter nades. Now they just have to try to push out and see what they can do. They do have some Molotovs to try to clear out some spots on the A bomb site, or force falling out A ramp, which they do. But now he's just holding well, but they're still able to get all the kills. So really well done by Infused, despite the fact they ran out of utility. They still won all the key duels on that execute, and they'll just storm right on through. What a crazy round that was from Infused. I thought Vex had done well to kind of counter that execution with some brilliant smokes and incendiaries, but that was all but the case. Infused just straight out rolled out and dominated the site.
They're just getting the frags where they really counted. It was pretty much a 4-for-1 trade at one point, and easy plant. You can see what that means for Vex Gaming. 5 rounds back-to-back to Infused, and 3 FAMASs for Vex Gaming. It's not fantastic. No defuse kits, no armor on Rollin. This is really worrying situation for the Poles. And Windaski just pushes out, gets himself a frag. It's dropped down to 27 HP, but just about manages to survive. That's going to keep both players on A for the time being. It's going to split up the CTs. They're looking for the information through B. I like this play from Vexed. Going for the scout play. That being said, if they keep pushing up here, it could be into the bracing arms of the terrorists. It's going to come down to the next couple of frags. We're going to feel, and Pete has connected onto Zed. And a second kill as well. This is massive. He's looking for a third. The bomb's been dropped right in front of him.
I mean, to be fair, like the rounds where they've actually won at B, it's been because Pete has come up big with some type of multi-frag round. And here it comes off the back of something different, you know, just pushing really aggressive into T-spawn and catching Infused with 3 frags. That's just massive that, you know, Infused could not trade that. And this could spell a lot of trouble for them. They can't come back. Nice kill there from Crucial to start getting it back. He's got it back into a 2-on-2. In fact, that's pretty crazy stuff.
I have no idea how they managed to drag this one back, but it has given Infused a glimmer of hope. Bomber's going to get picked up. Crucial was vulnerable for a couple seconds, but fortunately for him, there wasn't a peek out from Hyper. He's still there with the AWP, though, and this could still be rough. He goes for the peek and lands it. Bomber's been dropped again. 18 seconds. Furlan's out of position for a few seconds, but I think he can definitely snake his way in. And now the issue for Aaron is he's going to have 2 sides to contend with, and maybe doesn't even need to, as Hyper's there with the AWP, and a crucial round for Vex. Really, Pete needs to take a bow. Those 3 kills were instrumental.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only did they just, you know, just the fact that he got 3 kills, it's also about how much clock he killed. The situation he put Infused in with the bomb down the way it was outside B, it basically forced there at the end for that final member of Infused. He had no choice but to go to B. I mean, he only had 17 seconds left. There was no way he could even try to make it to the A-bomb site. And it only got slowed down even more when Hyper got that first op pick and got it into the 2 versus 1. So just really getting killed by the clock as well as the 3 frags in general. So, you know, great play there from Pete's through and through, and that gives Vex a little bit of life. I mean, they had lost 5 rounds in a row up until that point, so this at least, you know, makes it to where they can challenge in this game, whereas before they were just getting absolutely ripped. And they do get the opening pick this round as well, but it's quickly traded, and Infused again looking for this mid to B.
They've really liked this play, haven't they? And with the opening picks going the way they have, you maybe fancy their chances once more, but Rallen this time puts down the hammer, hiding in the smoke. He could get something done, finally tapped through there from Zed. Another great round shaping up for Infused. 55 seconds left on the timer. They picked up another one, all on Furlan. He doesn't have a defuse kit either, so this is going to be really rough for him. 45 seconds, bomb's going to go down any second now. This would be a tough ask for Furlan. Landing flashbangs on his face. He's going to be coming through the hole.
And he has to go for it. Like, no matter what, there's no money next round, so he just has to try to win this round because their economy is pretty much done for the rest of this half, so he's got to make this work.
Absolutely. I kind of feel sorry for him there. You can't really blame Furlan. 1v3, he did his best. He at least got a frag, but as he said, you know, they're going to concede the round, and now they've got absolutely nothing to play with. It's just pistols and armor, and Infused shaping up for the 9-6 half, which when you consider that at one stage it was 5-2 in Vex Gaming's favor, this is a fantastic result for Infused, whatever happens in this round.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've at least made themselves competitive. I mean, we do know that this map is, I guess, one of 2 maps now in our pool that does favor the terrorist side, it seems. I think, like, Cobble, people are starting to begin to believe that that map begins to favor the T side these days as well. But Dust 2 has classically always kind of been that map that's, you know, pretty balanced, but many times can favor the T side. So I certainly wouldn't count Vex out of this. They could easily put up a pretty solid T half in their own right and still make this a competitive game. But for being the underdog, I think Infused has done more than we expected in this particular matchup.
Oh man, I would definitely say that Infused have exceeded my expectations for sure already. And again, that seems like I'm being really down on them, but you look at Vex, you know, qualifying for Major. Yes, Dust 2 is not a map they're necessarily happy with, but I still expected them to get a pretty solid CT side. Maybe they can pick this one up and keep it somewhat even going through into the halftime. It looks likely unless Zed has something up his sleeve. First frag comes through, not clean. He's down to 15. Smoke onto the doors just to get rid of some of that vision for the CTs. It doesn't matter. Vex have pulled it back to 7-8. And now on the T side, we'll be hungry to get this pistol round under their belt as well.
Yeah, crazy to see them having struggled so much on gun rounds in the first half, only to win the last round off of an eco. So that is kind of nuts that it played out that way. But I mean, that's a close score, 7-8. That's still anyone's game at this point. In fact, you would even think that Vex might be slightly favored just because now they're swapping over to what I guess is usually the more forgiving side of this map as far as being able to get rounds. So I would definitely think that Vex is still, feeling pretty comfortable, but Infused has put up enough rounds on their end to be competitive for the rest of this map as well. So this could get interesting depending on how the pistol round and stuff like that goes, and the opening gun round as well. After the first 4 or 5 rounds we play, we'll have a better idea where we're headed. But as of now, it's pretty even.
Yeah, it certainly is. Pretty much as even as you can ask for. I'm just waiting for the players to ready themselves up so we can get into the thick of the action on the second half. Of course, it's just the best of one format, guys, not best of two, as we'd normally be casting here on CEVO. And do correct me if I'm wrong here, Dust, but I think this is the only map of tonight for CEVO.
I think we're not doing anything outside of this. Whatever NA matches we normally would do at night are canceled for this evening, so this is it. Now I have to do a shameless plug here for us, and that is that if you are interested in attending the finals for our Pro League for CEVO Land, that is going to take place in Columbus, Ohio at the MLG-TV Arena. That is November 6th through 8th. That's like 3 weeks away. I believe tickets are still on sale for that if you still want to attend that event physically. I know it's cool to have the crowd there. It's a nice arena to check out. So if you want to check it out, I believe it's $35 USD for a 3-day pass. So definitely go ahead and check out the store. You can hit the store button up top of this page and possibly attend the event if you'd like. So I'll just throw that out there.
Absolutely. Definitely get yourself involved, guys. Here we go, though, live into the second half between Infused and Vexed Gaming. Infused had a pretty solid first half, better than they were expecting. Probably be quite disappointed they didn't get the 9-6, as it was rifles against effectively just pistol armors. But that's all in the past. Here is the present and the now. And Vexed have opened up their account here on the second half, courtesy of Furlan. Did a pretty solid job in the first pistol round as well. But here he's looking for more frags. Lands the headshot onto Aaron. Traded out for that USP. He goes down, but Pete is there to get the avenging frag. And the terrorists keep their 2-player advantage. For how long is the question? And the answer is not too long. Windansky lands the shot, but he gets dinked in the meanwhile from the Glock. And he is dropped down to 3 HP. This will be a very difficult retake for Infused.
Yeah, this has been a crazy pistol round, definitely favoring Vex. They will get that bomb plenty. You see Windansky coming up. He's been able to do a good amount of damage there onto the bomb planner, which is Rollin. But it's still, it's so tough with Zed only with 3 HP. He's trying to come on a flank long A. He's got to catch someone off guard. It's really the only chance he has to even get a frag at this point, but immediately taken care of. And Windansky, he just craters. Doesn't even really have a chance. He was trying to drop in the CT spawn, but gets tagged down a bit there. And that'll do it. So Vexed immediately tying up the game at 8-all, and a great opportunity here to make it to 10-8 if they can get past these scouts. We know that this 4-spy second round can be quite difficult to deal with, so this is just kind of the first hurdle they have to get past to try to establish themselves in this game again.
Yeah, 3 scouts in total, as you mentioned, 2 on the Infused, the 1 from Vexed Gaming, which is going to be in the hands of Pete. He's landed himself the headshot. He was tagged down himself as well, but as you say, Infused have been heavily battered on here in the early stages of round 17.
Yeah, he hit a 2-for-1 there to body shot Crucial in Aaron, so that was a pretty sick display of scout work there by Pete's. A little bit of a tag does come in there to Hyper in retaliation, but it's definitely Infused are on the back foot this round as that bomb does begin to make its way towards B, and there's only one player there, and his rotation is very, very far off, so this is going to be rather difficult to deal with.
Oh, they needed Windansky to do better than that, though. He didn't get anything done by himself, and now B's completely open. And Rollin is looking to sell that fake onto A. It's dragged out Crucial. He gets dropped on quite literally from Rollin, who lands the headshot. All on Aaron. He's got a 5-7 and armor. This would probably be worth saving, especially considering he's got 34 HP. But that does mean that Vex will have another round here.
Yeah, Peach just did so much damage over at long A between the kill and the damage he dealt to a couple of players, and then that was just kind of easy pickings for Ron later with the ump, and you kind of hit the nail on the head there when Windansky, off on his own at B, not able to get anything done, so that just made it too easy for Vex to say we'll go up 9-8 and likely 10-8 as well. Aaron's going to be the only person with any type of equipment value next round. He does have this ump save, but everyone else will just be probably on P250s or something like that. So likely 10-8 here unless something crazy happens.
Definitely expect the 10-8 scoreline. Let's have a look if Infused are going to get baited out by potential armor and 5-7. No, they don't. That's going to be a full-on save. That's the correct decision. Especially a map like Dust 2, you want to get those long-range weapons as soon as possible, but you're always battling against the economy, really. And Infused have been struggling a tiny bit so far. That's going to continue in the same fashion as Furlan lands the fatal blow to Windansky. Looking for the second frag, does get Zed down to 32, and then it finishes him off as Zed relocates with the UMP, maybe hoping for the one tap to come in. Crucial. Thinking about maybe snaking his way through the smoke, thinks better of his decisions, just going to be hiding there for now. Drags out the USP, but he gets headshotted, and as expected, it is going to go the way of Vex Gaming, and pretty convincingly as well. Aaron's going to get one. I don't expect him to get a lot more out of this round. If he can save, that'll be a pretty big deal, but he's about to get rushed on the site by 3 angry terrorists coming left, right, and center. They have the AK. What a shot that is! That's a second, nearly a third. That was quite devastating, though, for Vex Gaming, losing 3 players.
That's almost a loss, too, because the bomb went down there. The bomb, like, I thought the bomb was just going to plant at A, and they were just going to kind of go on the hunt with some players at B, but no, they brought the bomb with them, and if he could have landed, like, maybe one more shot there, all of a sudden he would have had a realistic chance to even win that, so that was actually quite scary for Vex. But in the end, they don't allow any gun save there from Infused, and they secure the round for themselves. But it did force Grubby on Tish's Galil, so, I mean, their money is still quite low despite having the 3-0 start. And so that's kind of good news for Infused if they can, you know, open up with the gun round victory here. They're going to make things quite tight, especially with Pete only having $150. Like, the economy is going to be so messed up next time around here for Vex. So we'll see if Infused can, you know, try to capitalize on that, as Vex are playing quite slow here. They're gathered up in the B tunnels with a few of their members, a couple outside long, but not really dedicated to anything just yet. It seems like they do want to do some type of B split, however.
Again, though, it's that same kind of situation where Infused only have the 1 player on B, stacking 3 on A. And although they do have Windansky, who's in mid, he's in such a position that if they were to push right now, it's unlikely he'd be able to fend them off. So it's all on Zed, and he has picked up the first frag. Here comes the rotation from Infused. And all-out aggression from the terrorists. Red Snake can't land the shot, so it's a 1-for-1. Make that a 2-for-1. Pete's landed one onto Windansky. Red Snake in a good position. Look at the way the ball dropped in a second through the smoke. That is crucial. He's going to get a third as well if he keeps tapping through the smoke there. Furlan was desperate to get the bomb before the smoke dissipated. But in doing so, he's died. 25 seconds, and this time, it's all on that man, Red Snake. What a fantastic 3, man.
Yeah, I mean, the first kill he got getting the bomb down was, like, you know, a prize enough to slow everything down, but he also was gifted a frag through the smoke for a second player and also wound up finding a third through that same exact smoke, so a little bit of luck towards him, but also a really just key kill on getting the bomb carrier, which was full credit to him. He lined that up quite nicely, and so there you have it. Coming right back at Vexed is Infused, and money's tight on Vex. They did force up what they could, but it's a Tech 9 on Pete's and the Galil onto Furlan, and very little utility here. And probably what they lost here would be a full save, but Infused, again, they have to worry about the money reset, but Crucial hits a nice shot onto Hyper. So both teams, very fragile economies. They each need this round to try to progress and take the lead.
Crucial first kill there as well, taking down Hyper.
I love the pun. It was quite on point.
I actually didn't even make
it. Was so legit that you didn't even realize you did
I'll take it. So that first kill, though, definitely is going to slow down the terrorists. And with Zed having his ult, what he currently does, and his potential peak coming in, he could have got himself a frag. Did miss it, but that's going to scare off the terrorists anyway. That Molotov comes through, but not really going to do anything too significant. Pushing out right now is Red Snake once more. Probably should have had that kill, but drops Rollin down to 6. And now Vex could be opting to go back towards the B side, which may be a mistake. There's 2 players there. Instead, they're going through Catwalk. But there's Crucial. He has himself the AWP in the perfect position. Question is, can he land the shots? The answer is a yes. There's the first one. Going to be setting up for number 2 as well. 25 seconds. Terrorists have to get a move on here. What a shot that is onto Pete as well. The flick just down. Looking for a third. Misses that, but has he already done enough? He does finally land the third. He's going to get traded out. And maybe Furlan will get this bomb planted, which is a small saving grace for Vex Gaming, but the chance of him clutching from this position are slim to none. And there we go. Yeah. He's going to get dropped.
So, I mean, that was actually a really good call by Vex. Like, once they heard that op at the back to B, to kind of reroute and just try to attack mid instead, because they knew that, okay, this op is tucked into the back of B, so no way, it's nothing like that's watching mid. We should be able to get some type of 2v1 or 3v1 on a rifle outside B, which they got. They got that kill, so very nicely done. But then they tried to, instead of like continuing to attack mid to B, they actually backtracked up to the catwalk. They just kind of ran straight into the hands of Crucial's op over there on the A ramp. So it's going to allow Infused to tie this game back up at 10-all. And again, we talked about the money situation. It's not good for either team, but unfortunately for Vex, they're the one that it's going to get caught up to first. So they're going to have to take the save here, which means they're going to be really unable to punish Infused economy. It's going to allow them to build up. So Infused, they need to win this round, but they need to do so cleanly. They should be able to. There's not much here for Vex, and it would be absolutely devastating if they had to do a lot of rebuying. So it's important to take this one with ease.
That is a very good point, that your race needs to be clean if they lose more than 2 players. Probably good enough for Vexed, and they have already taken down 2 players. They've got themselves an M4 in their hands. Of Furlan. Hyper does get picked off, however, from Crucial, who again is on long with the AWP. Another M4 is claimed from Vex Gaming. They do know that there's at least an AWP on A side. Is this going to deter them from pushing in? The answer is no. And Roland, who's that first player, has baited out the first shot. However, there we go. It's a cleanup for Infused. 2 players lost, but that's still going to be okay. Any more than that, and I think things are going to start to get a bit sketchy for them.
I mean, Vex will be able to be on a buy here, but they're kind of in that whole win-loss-save type of cycle at this point. So this gives Infused a lot of room to work with. To try to extend their lead, but at the same time their economy is quite low, and so a loss would equal a save immediately for them as well. So again, it's both teams have quite a lot of pressure on them to win a couple of rounds in a row to really kind of firmly establish themselves as far as money goes. And so that's a very tense spot to be. And Crucial going to take this op out very aggressively at cap, but not spotting anything, and he could get caught out by this lower B push, but no, he will get the kill and he will get away. So very nicely done there from Crucial to get the pick and you know, not get too greedy, to just walk away with the 5 versus 4.
Yeah, super important there for Infused that he keeps himself alive and able to relocate, maybe land another fatal shot as well. Furlan could just be about to walk into Crucial. He misses the shot, will drop down. Very close to being picked off. So Vex Gaming still have utility to work with. There are 4 Molotovs in the hands of Infused with 50 seconds to play with. Fern looking to set up for that smoke through mid. But Red Snake is there as well. Molotov goes out, and that's going to stop the push. Molotovs, of course, don't last for a great deal amount of time, so Vex can still go through mid if that's the play. HG going to be coming through as well. Seems to me Red Snake maybe throwing them a tiny bit too early. Did do a lot of damage to Hyper, though, more than I was expecting, and now he relocates next to the doors. He gets picked off, and that is pretty desperate times for Infused. They're getting aggressed on 25 seconds. How is this duo? How is this tag team going to fend off the push onto B? The bomb's been dropped. Zed is still alive. He's going to spin round, lands him second shot, very nearly a third. He may have done enough damage, though, to buy this round for Infused as that grenade lands. It's all a 1 versus 2. 10 seconds to play with Hyper. He's going to be forced to plant that bomb. And indeed, he will get it down. And now has a chance to clutch himself. What is going on here?
I have no idea.
1v2 clutch Infused.
Wow.
That was your round to lose. How
yeah, I
does
mean,
he clutch?
Vex didn't think there was a second player B. I mean, they had killed 1 player at mid, and then they killed 1 in B, so they thought, okay, we cleared both guys on the B side. The rotation's still coming spawn, but Zed was actually still tucked in the B the entire time and did quite well. You know, hold things off for a bit, get his team into a winnable 2v2 retake situation, but then right there at the end, Hyper, that was massive to hold off that retake by himself. I mean, they even had him pinned to where he had the bomb plant. He had to plant the bomb there with 5 seconds left, and so you'd think they could get the jump on him, but not the case. He wins the 1v2, and this is just a crazy game. As we talked about, neither team really had much money, so Infused is already forced to save, and that's just how quickly the tides can turn on this game when both teams don't have an established, you know, reserve of cash. 1 round is your downfall, basically.
Certainly can be. And is that the round for Infused where things start to slip away? It very well could be, because this round is an eco. Next round they will have enough funds to play with, but again, that's where the pressure really starts to mount. When it comes down to experience between these two teams, you've got to say that Vexed have the experience in terms of going to the likes of, you know, Stockholm, the DreamHack Open, being against the tier 1 teams as well. I wonder if Infused will start to crumble here, if this is their moment to stand up. Windansky has landed himself a 1-dig. I'll keep this round a bit more interesting. Oh, Vex could be moving into a trap here. Zed's there with the CZ, lands the headshot. Looking for a second. The damage is being traded back and forth. It's a 3-on-2. They have an AK in the hands of Red Snake. Again, no, there's no armor for the UK-based squad. And now Aaron going to be pushing through that Molotov with the P250. Can he land anything? No. And that's going to be the AK probably saved now for Infused. 12-11 for Vexed.
Yeah, and I think Infused has called the timeout here from what I saw. So I think this is a great time to take it. I mean, this is kind of your moment where you're going to get a buy coming up soon, and Vex has the lead, and this is kind of your last chance to make a run for it. Mid to B has plagued both teams. And again, I think that's a very common problem that teams have on Dust 2. It's very difficult to deal with. I think it's, like I said, one of the most difficult things to worry about on the CT side of this, 7-map pool. I thought Infused played it pretty decent in the sense that they were always able to kind of focus on one or the other. Like, either they were able to focus on the mid to B portion quite well with both their players with some good smokes on the doors and window and not have to worry about tunnels, or the opposite, like they aggress tunnels and kind of don't worry about outside B. They really just got clutched and made a big mistake on a 2 versus 1 was really their only problem. So I think their initial defense has been quite good. Let's see if they can kind of string it together here. I mean, they have full equipment again. They have that op on Crucial. He's been able to defend A pretty well. And so we'll see if they can try to come back here.
Yeah, a lot of these rounds of Infused have been...
And disadvantage, still being able to hold off the retake. That's twice in a row now, and those 2 rounds could really be the difference maker between Infused winning this and not, and they're going to be forced to save again. So that's rough that they keep losing these retakes on B, despite the fact they're a man up.
That's always the problem when trying to retake B. If you don't have much utility, even a 3-on-2 can quickly, just slip away. Or a 4-on-2 as the case may be, and we saw they really didn't have too much. So Vex Gaming playing that one to perfection. Furlan, who's 22-16 right now, top fragging for his team, doing a fantastic job. Again, typically on these kind of rounds where Infused are going to have just pistols, they're looking for the info. You can't really play standard here, because you will get wrecked anyway. So I can understand why they've gone for that B tunnels push. Unfortunately, Vex kind of called this situation. Grubby was just laid there and wait. This is going to be as clear cut as you can ask for from Vex Gaming. And Infused then will be at a 3-round disadvantage. And this next round is pretty much make or break for Infused. If they lose it, they've almost got a foot out of this game overall.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to get to that point where Vex is starting to pull out ahead just at the right time. I mean, they're already at the 14 rounds. They have established their economy, so they shouldn't really have to worry about saving too much up until maybe if Infused is able to tie up the game 14-14. Then they might start getting into territory where they have to take a save for last or something like that. But as of now, they are okay. In the meantime, Infused, this is kind of their last chance. If this round doesn't work out, yeah, they'll have $3,400 coming in next round, but that's going to mean that their highest money is $3,500. That's not even enough to do M4 armor. You're basically stuck on FAMAS armor, upgrade pistol armor at that point. So this is basically their best shot at getting back into this game. It has to be this round.
And they have invested heavily to reflect that as well. Crucial gets caught with his back turned to Furlan. Rough.
That's
That is very
major.
rough. Yep.
That's major to lose one of your ops like that, who's been so good at defending A throughout this game, to already be out of it before he even gets a shot off. That's massive. And now Vexed are just collapsing completely on top of Infused. They haven't lost a single man yet. It's all up to Aaron in a 1 versus 5, and you got to think this is where the game begins to fade to black in favor of Vexed. Infused, they put up a good run throughout this game, but losing those 2 crucial retakes on B, and now losing this round in such a dominant fashion, I think that spells the end.
It certainly will, in my opinion at least. And again, you can see their it's going to be nothing too fantastic. And it came down to it. You know, I said before that when it comes to experience, Vex will be slightly ahead in that capacity. I mean, I know a lot of these players are Infused, have been around the block a number of times, but again, it goes back to what we said right at the beginning of this game, that Vex have typically been playing the tier 1 teams, whereas Infused have been beating, you know, the tier 3, tier 4 teams or UK-based squads. So see that Vex just edging ahead in the closing stages of this game. They're keeping themselves in it. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Quickly goes back in favor of Vex again, though, with 2 kills in quick succession. That leaves Windansky, the stand-in, and Zed with a Mag 7. All that remains to save the hopes and dreams of Infused. Hyper spotted himself a player, and Tunnels does get dinked for his troubles, but picks up the frag, and now it's on Windansky, who's down to 26 HP. Surely this is over.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, they are going to take that bomb through B tunnels with all 3 players to B side. So taking the safe route, not even giving Windansky a chance to do much. And so he will have to try to retake into a B bomb site with no utility, head armor, and a FAMAS only, and already down to 26 HP. The odds couldn't be any more stacked against you than this particular situation. So yeah, I think this should be it here. There it is.
Yep, final nail put well and truly into the coffin, and a valiant attempt from Infused. They stuck in to the game. It was 11-11 at one stage.